Olivia Rodrigo, one of the biggest artists of today. She is seen all across the internet, billboards, interviews, even on Lancome products. What is she mainly known for? Music. What type of music? Pop and pop rock. And she just released an album, so since my last video in 2024, she hasn't been very active in the music community, besides going on tour and working with her fashion partners. She has been working on something though. It would be a new project. And what would this project be about? Well, that's exactly what we're going to be talking about in today's video. Hello everyone and welcome back to Musician Replay. Today we will be talking about the themes of Olivia's new album and what the future holds for her next projects. In my last video, I talked about her past two albums, Sour and Guts. Now this project would break her two-album run for 4-letter words and would be known as You Seem Pretty Sad for a Girl So In Love. Yeah, that's a bit of a mouthful. Anyway, on April 2nd, she announced that the album was going to be released on June 12th, 2026. Finally, we heard some news after 2.5 years of Guts being released. This was her third full-length album with 13 songs. After that announcement, on April 6th, she posted 4 videos of a lock around a fence around the world. What does this mean? Well, maybe she'll explain it when the album comes out. On April 7th, she announced that her first new single would be dropping and would be known as Drop Dead. Drop Dead talks about how a crush turns into a real thing, hanging out all the time, excited, nervous, and believing that they are the most perfect person you've ever met. In the first verse, she sets a scene with them being at a bar. She doesn't want him to finish his beer because she wants to spend all night with him. In the chorus, she talks about how she checks his social media to see if they are compatible, making sure that he's the right one. She uses her feminine intuition, saying that she has a gut feeling that they are meant to be. She also uses a dichotomy of life and death in the lines, the most alive I've ever been, but kiss me and I might drop dead, showing that he truly makes her feel alive, but if he were to do something as romantic as kissing her, then she'll die. In the second verse, she sings that she is nervous to be around him, thinking that she might have even made him up since he's perfect for her. She continues wanting to be around him, wanting to know a lot more, but also hoping for something to happen, like holding her hand, and then in the future, maybe something even more frisky. Finally, in the bridge, she mentions how she's a Pisces and the person she likes is a Gemini, which usually don't go together, but she thinks that they might actually do. She also mentions her obsession with the guy singing, "If you let me stay the night, well I think I might just stay forever." In the music video, she is seen in a bar dancing and sitting down. Next, she is seen in the Palace of Versailles on a bed looking through his social media as stated in the lyrics. Throughout the second verse, she is seen running and singing through the palace as stated in the chorus, "You're looking like an angel on the walls of Versailles." Also to mention that the quality of the music video seems to be on the sort of an old camera, or at least the way that they made the video look, so that potentially has something to do with the album. For the bridge, she is seen playing the guitar with some of her friends in the palace, and then sometimes outside of the palace as well. Now, I don't know if the palace has any Olivia Rodrigo lore behind it besides that she named it in the song, but it's still really cool that they allowed her to film there. After Drop Dead released, she announced that she would be going on a tour once again, the Unraveled Tour from September 2026 to May 2027. Then we didn't hear any more music from her for a bit. Then, on May 19th, she announced that The Cure would be dropping on May 22nd. In the album cover, it shows her holding strings, which is quite important for both the song and also explains the title of her tour. In the song The Cure, she talks about the love that she has, but the actual cure is from inside of them and not from someone else. In the first verse, she compares herself to others, thinking that she's good enough, but truly isn't. Then she sings, "I thought I found the antidote this time." She thinks romantic love is the antidote, but truly it isn't. What she needs is self-love. In the chorus, she recognizes that romantic love won't help, saying that the love is like a medication and it will help, but it won't ever be the cure. In the third verse, she says that she's playing a game in her head, that she tallies up all the girls that the guy has been with, but she ends up crying from just the simple game because she keeps comparing herself. In the refrain, in the bridge, she continues to sing that she's unraveled, like the name of the tour, and she wonders why she can't be stitched up and why it can't be enough to fix her. In the music video, it starts with her walking in a hospital as some nurse. Next, she is seen making some concoction, possibly the cure she's searching for. She is then seen injecting it into a heart, but then it dies, showing that she hasn't found what she's looking for yet. She is seen tying up on a clipboard, but then she drops it and starts to see a string coming out of her hand, symbolizing her unraveledness. She is then seen walking through the hallway, and then she is finally brought into a hospital room for herself. The nurses tie her up to all the hearts that she killed, showing that the strings attached to her are the cure, which is self-love. What is interesting is that at the end of the music video, you see the nurse Olivia laying in the hospital, but then you see a different Olivia through the window, who then picks up the diorama of the hospital. She then sits it on the ground just to crush it. This maybe symbolizes that she's moved on from that love she used to have from that boy, because then it shows her moving in a room, which would be the moving on part. On May 26th, she posted the track list on her Instagram. This is interesting. It seems as if the album is broken up into two parts. First, the girl so in love, and second, you seem pretty sad, the opposite order in which the album title is. The album order would be as follows: Side A, Drop Dead, Stupid Song, Honeybee, Maggots for Brains, You Plus Me Equals Heart, My Way, and Purple. Side B, The Cure, Begged, What's Wrong With Me, Less, Expectations, and Cigarette Smoke. June 12th, 2026, the album drops. The second song off the album has a video to go along with it. This is known as the Stupid Song. In the first verse, she sings about being at a party with her friends that often seems so cool to her, yet she doesn't think that she can be like them even if she tried. In the last line of the first verse, she says, "But I can't help but imagine what you say when you speak with me." This shows that she's somewhat infatuated with the guy she likes. She can't help but think what he'll say next, and even while she's at parties, all she can think about is him. In the chorus, she keeps comparing herself to various items like a speeding car and a heart made of wax, but she makes one thing clear: I want you more than any stupid song could say. That's a very powerful line, where many people listen to or even write songs just for the lover, but here she says that even the song can't express how much she loves him. In the second verse, she continues about how she puts this guy on a pedestal, comparing him as a bridge between her and God. Finally, in the bridge, she sings, "Nobody's wanted somebody more, it's a thing I can't ignore, I want you baby so bad." These lines in the entire song tells a story of how she's obsessed with this guy she likes. She can't ever get him out of her mind, and she has a crushing feeling that she feels as if she loves him more than anyone in the world has loved before. In the music video, it starts with Olivia walking in the streets of New York City. It switches to a cat's POV of its feet and then to the feet of some ballerinas. After a few clips of the cat and the ballerinas then show up behind Olivia, and then they start to go on a journey across the city together. While singing, it cuts to a clip leaning against a tree, which could be referring to a photo that has the album cover's name carved in it. She's seen singing with her head on the tree, in a grocery store, and in the park. It shows a clip of the ballerina's knees dirty, which might symbolize the messiness of the relationship or of Olivia's mind while she's in the relationship. Then we see it all coming together. There's a part where Olivia is playing the piano in a grocery store with a bunch of cats around her. Not really sure what the cats mean though, but maybe she just likes cats. Then it starts to rain on them in the park. This could also be the messiness from the relationship. The video ends with her in the park alone, with a sprinkler spraying above her. Maybe this means that the ballerinas were just all in her head. Maybe the ballerinas play a part of the messiness, showing her mind isn't thinking straight, but rather it's full of dreams of this guy. The next song, Honeybee, seems to talk about the same topic. She believes that the many cliches that she knows are present in the relationship, but in The Cure, she realizes that that's not actually true. She also mentions in the chorus, "And I hope I never see what your face looks like going, a face I swear that I could spend my whole life knowing." She doesn't want to have to let go of this relationship. She wants to always see this boy and always wants to be with him. In the second verse, she continues her love fantasy with the lines, "It feels like God threw me a bone," and "Everything I own just feels like ours." She feels as if God finally gave her something to help her through a rough time, the something being a partner to help her out with all her problems. Also, she mentions how all of her possessions are now theirs, showing how she really values the relationship and believes that everything they own can now be shared. In numerous interviews, Olivia has described the song as a classic love song, so Honeybee is quite a simple song just talking about love. The fourth song is Maggots for Brains. She expresses her boredom without this person. She tells us her day was mundane and how when she tried to write, nothing was able to come out, showing that she is lonely and lovesick without this person. In the chorus, she repeats, "But that's just the thing that happens when my baby goes away." She feels dependent on this person to even live. She can't think without them, can't feel without them, and soon is not even able to live without them. In the second verse, she even mentions going to an extreme of, "Sometimes I even wish for a tragedy, cause I know he'll take real good care of me." She sometimes even wishes something bad will happen just to see him again. This is obsession. In the bridge and outro, she repeats, "What can I do but think of you?" This helps show her obsession with this guy, showing her constant thought of him and her dependence on him. Next is You Plus Me Equals Heart. She begins the song talking about this boy again. She wants him to take her out, but then, in the bridge, she remarks that all of her friends disapprove of a new relationship for her, since she seems to take it too fast. In the chorus, she talks about change, how everyone changes, but she doesn't want the relationship to change, since she believes that they are perfect for each other currently. Throughout the rest of the song, she mentions the current dating market. People tell her to be careful because today, love is quite volatile, but she denies it and believes that this guy is truly the one. The sixth song from the album, and my favorite, is My Way. This brings back more of the classic Olivia song vibes. It tells the story of how one of her boyfriend's friends crossed the line with him. Olivia tells her off as she obviously doesn't want anyone with her significant other, but the chorus explicitly tells her that you're in my way now, don't go where you don't belong. In the second verse, she says, you send him another poem and think that he'll let go, and you're posting another pic in clothes that I know are his. This could be an ex-girlfriend of his that keeps trying to get him back. No matter how hard she tries, Olivia won't let the ex win him back, especially since she's so obsessed with him. My favorite part comes from the bridge, where she continues to talk about the ex. Olivia asks where she got her confidence from and tells her to stop because she remembers winning last. She sings, just stop, you're being fucking weird, maybe I'm a petty bitch, but you made me resort to this, that's it, I win. Olivia knows that writing a song about this is kinda petty, but she doesn't care as long as it means that she wins the boyfriend over and gets to keep her relationship that she oh so loves. Purple is the last song on the Girl So In Love side of the album. Olivia begins the song off with everything going right. She's met his mom, who showed her pictures of him when he was younger, and she's visited his hometown a bunch more since they've been dating. She used to feel like an outsider there, but now she feels at home. In the chorus she sings, I melt with you, you're my red and blue, now I see the world in purple. She's mixing the two colors together, such as they would be to make the color purple. Seeing the world in purple is seeing it in a new view and almost in a dreamlike experience, which is how she feels when she's with him. In the second verse, we start to see the song turn sour. She talks about buying things in doubles, mentioning how they've merged, but then she says they start to fight, just like normal couples do, starting down a dangerous path. At the end of the second pre-chorus, we see this path finally take place. We start to see the You Seem Pretty Sad side of the album with the lines, I had a big dream till I tied myself to you, now I'm all consumed. Now she's starting to realize that he's actually holding her back and what she wants to do. Finally, in the outro she sings, melt with you till it all turns black, melt with you till it all just feels sad. This is the end of the Girl So In Love side. She realizes that the melting together lost their personalities that made the relationship so special. They both acted like themselves, but then it all merged into one bad thing, which is the black. The feel sad part is now the perfect segue into the side B of the album. This side starts off with The Cure, but since we've already talked about that, we'll be heading to the next one, which is Begged. In the first verse, she talks about her past relationship. The guy moved on, but Olivia is still stuck on him. She wishes he'd be there to show him how much she'd do for him, but with the lack of commitment from him, that really truly could never be. In the chorus, she tells us about how this relationship is slipping. She always needs to beg him to do anything for her, not meeting her emotional needs. Just like in The Cure, Olivia and the audience start to find out what she needs is just self-love, rather than a romantic relationship. In the second verse, she feels trapped. She doesn't know what to do or how to progress a relationship, but she still hangs on to hope, wishing that the relationship will eventually work out. However, she then sings, careless words melted away, showing that her hope is waning and she's learning that self-love is truly the cure. The third song from side B and the 10th song from the album is What's Wrong With Me. This song is special. This marks Olivia's first collab with Robert Smith from the band The Cure. In the first verse, she wonders where her sadness is coming from. She looks up the symptoms and can't find anything, and she keeps spiraling, trying different things to help, but nothing she does helps. In the chorus, they both sing, say I'm in love, so it's hard to admit, I can't eat, I can't sleep, I think you're what's wrong with me. Here Olivia finds out what her problem is, her relationship. The second verse is Robert's. He talks about his growing unwant for the relationship. He wants to let the relationship go, but his head keeps pounding with the thought of it instead of simply fading. Finally, in the bridge, they sing about not being themselves, seeing that there are warning signs, yet they still can't hide the feeling that they are feeling, uneasiness. Overall, the song shows that Olivia finally understands the problem that she's been feeling. She understands that her current relationship is bad for her and she's starting to want to move on from it. Les talks about the final strings of the relationship. She makes one last attempt to save it. In the beginning, she tries just to sleep off the weird feeling that it's going to end soon, but she's been telling herself that for many nights in a row. In the chorus, the lines, "If loving me means letting go and wishing me the best, then I guess I wish you loved me less." She makes a contrasting statement here. Although she wants him to love her, if his definition of loving her is leaving her, then she wants the opposite of that love. She just wants him to stay with her, which inevitably won't last forever. She continues by saying how they've tried to recreate dates that they loved, but ultimately it didn't feel like the same as it once was. The end of the second chorus is different now. Instead of saying letting go, she says, "Crying on the curb of LAX," showing how he leaves her in California, acting on the letting go part. Finally, after an instrumental part, in the outro she sings the end of the chorus again, but now sings, "If loving me means saying, babe, I think this is the end, I guess I wish you loved me less." She finally needs to hear the end of it. This makes her realize what should have been less. Her feeling for him should have been less intense, since she said that she's felt like she's been more in love than anyone else in the world. She was obsessing over this guy, and finally, she is let go. Expectations is the 12th song on the album. This one sounds different from the rest. It has a tech pop feel to it, or almost a Daft Punk type sound, or even a Blame the Machines sound by Duran Duran. Since moving on from her past relationship, she has learned to realize that she needs expectations in relationships. In the beginning, she talks about one guy who she met at a party, who initially thought was great, but soon blocked his number as he wasn't right for her. In the chorus, it's obvious that she's changed. She sings, "He seems so desperate for loving, but baby, I'm not. Gave my heart with zero stipulations, now I take careful consideration." Now she's the complete opposite of who she was. She was the one who was very loving and everything, but now she's changed and leveled up her expectations. She's learned from her many past relationships and knows what she needs. Someone who doesn't have a fake job and someone who can love her, but to a certain extent. In the second verse and pre-chorus, she doesn't give up hope. She is living freely and she knows that when the time is right, she'll meet the right guy who can offer emotional support and adore her when she needs it. At the end of the song, she repeats the line, "I've got big expectations," showing that she finally has broken free and changed. The last official song on the album is Cigarette Smoke. The smell she gets from the cigarettes, she says, clings to my clothes and seeps into my bones. This is a metaphor for her ex still having lingering sensations of the last relationship that still has some toxic tones to it. She continues on speaking directly to her ex, both wanting the best for them, yet regretting the relationship. She wants her time back, and he wants his heart back, though the damage has already been done. In the second verse, she sings, "Some nights can be so f***ing lonely, but it's better than begging for you to stand up for me, Honey Bee." Here she makes a reference to the songs Begged and Honey Bee, but she also has come to realize that being alone is better than wasting her time on someone who won't be there for her when she needs it most. Continuing through the song, she sees how the relationship has become bone dry and she questions why she kept trying to hold on to the relationship, even though it eventually would end up like this. Finally, the conclusion of the album ends with her singing, "The memories go dark." It soon has less and less words until it ends with "go dark," but it shows how these memories are fading away. Olivia is trying to let go, and that's what she finally accomplishes with the song. On the Cure vinyl, and also now released to iTunes, she's released one more song for the album. This is a demo though, known as Never Do. It seems to be on the B side of the album, but more towards the part where she realizes where he isn't good for her. She starts the song off with the strong lines, "Alone, I feel alone, fresh out of things I can numb myself with on my phone." It shows instead of trying to get help for herself, she's just indulged in social media, numbing the feeling of lost love, but not curing it. In the chorus, we find out what never do means with, "If you do anything for me, how come you never do?" She wishes this relationship would play out the way she wants, but it seems as if every time they're being close to being good, something goes astray. He says he'd do anything for her, but he never does, when she truly needs it most. Throughout the rest of the song, Olivia tells the listeners that she isn't having fun with this relationship like she once did. She also mentions that he appeases another girl, yet tells Olivia that she's the only one for him. She talks about how they both try their best in the relationship, yet her best is much more than his. So that's all the songs explained, but you may be wondering, what's the overall theme of the album? Well, it's a story of being starstruck in love, then realizing what she needed wasn't a romantic partner, but rather self-love first, and then she can move on to have someone be there emotionally for her. The opening track, Drop Dead, starts off with this dreamy facade of a relationship. It's what Olivia hoped for and felt like when she first met the guy. The ending track, Cigarette Smoke, ends the album with a dark and cold view of the relationship. Olivia regrets it deeply, especially being so infatuated with this guy, just for him to truly not be the one for her, although she fell so hard for him, believing he was. So what's next for Olivia? Well, she has the Unraveled Tour going on from September to May of 2027. We most likely won't hear much from her, but someone did ask her in her interview if she was going to be dropping a deluxe.
Is there going to be a deluxe for this era?
I don't know yet. I haven't quite figured it out yet. I've been writing a lot, but we'll see what it turns into. Maybe I'll turn into a deluxe, maybe it'll turn into something else. I don't know. Still figuring it out.
So maybe she'll be releasing a deluxe like Gut Spilled, or maybe just dropping an entirely new project. Personally, I hope she drops a new project because these 13 tracks on You Seem Pretty Sad for a Girl So In Love seems to be the perfect amount of tracks to tell a perfect sad love story. Anyway, I'm excited to see what comes next from Olivia, and hopefully it doesn't take as long. But whatever it is, I'll make a new video for it when her next project is released. Next time, maybe Olivia won't feel as sad for a girl so in love. But it wasn't a bad idea to switch up her style a bit, right? Maybe her next project will talk about The Cure, self-love, but I guess we can only have big expectations for her next release. Okay, I'm done with making references. Until my next video, go listen to her new album. It's good for you. See you guys next time.